Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting round of Hex coverage. Here we have the fourth round of the Bash today, 6 rounds of Swiss, and then a cut to top 8. We have two very good Hex players here. We have Bob and Cheese, a member of the Hex Heroes, which is the testing team that Matt, myself, and Mike are all a part of here. And then we have Sirius on the top playing Redlings. Both of these players have multiple Bash top 8s, and we saw Sirius earlier playing in the first round with this Redlings deck.
Yeah, it's very good.
So it looks like Bob is playing the Turbo Psychic Ascension deck. You can usually tell that not only by the cards in their hand with the Cyclone Shaper and the Psychic Ascension, but the kind of default Cassia Golden Knight deck in the format right now is Turbo PA. Pretty decent hands on both sides of the table here for both players. We see Bob lead on an ice there, so he's going to guarantee his third resource drop. And we see Sirius has 2 resources with plenty of powerful 2-drops on his side.
Yeah, one thing to note, we saw Sirius earlier, but we didn't see the Lasgar's Bloodsworns, I don't think.
No, we did not. Yeah,
so
you're right.
Got a pair of those.
So Lasgar's Bloodsworn is kind of like an additional Eager Lackey. It's another 2-cost sacrifice outlet that lets you do neat tricks with your Boltwing Phoenixes and also gives you something to do with your Dreadlings.
Yeah, very cool. Sweet.
See that resource come off the top for Bob. Again, another ice, so immediately Fate Weave here again. Maybe CNN resource with this one. I don't know. It's kind of close. Runebind come off for Bob here. So for those that aren't familiar, the Psychic Ascension deck is kind of it is the combo deck of Hex's current standard format. Basically, what this deck does is it puts Cyclone Shaper into play, and then it uses a bunch of very cheap costing actions that then become free with Cyclone Shaper to kind of cycle through its deck to eventually play Psychic Ascension, transforming into the very powerful Paragon of Thought that makes all of your actions start creating troops. So you can do that as early as the 3rd turn with a really obnoxious draw.
Yeah. Sirius has a pretty good start, though. Putting 4 attack on the table on the 2nd turn is nothing to scoff at for the Turbo PA deck if they stumble at all.
We'll see here if Bob chooses to activate. So Cosmic Calling here, in addition to becoming a 2-cost because of the Cyclone Shaper, it can then become free by mobilizing it to make itself cost 2 less. So Bob's going to get to grab a non-resource on the top 3 cards of his deck. See him grab a Transmogre Fate here, which again, these cards are both free because of the Cyclone Shaper. So we have Transmogre Fate and Runebind to kind of interact with whatever aggression Sirius is able to play out.
Absolutely.
So Underworld Crusader as the pickup for Sirius here, which is a very good rip. You see the Slag Pod activation here being responded to by a Transmogre Fate, because remember, the Slag Pod activation is determined by the number of Underworld troops you have, so by removing this Underworld Crusader first, it makes the Slag Pod trigger less effective.
Ooh, it's still Underworld.
It transforms into a different Underworld type, but much less scary as a 1-3, right?
Yeah, you don't say.
Definitely don't get to fill in my upgrade slot.
It's a pretty healthy attack for the 3rd turn of the game here.
5 points of damage comes across. We see Dreadling sacrifice to turn the Lackey back into a 4-4.
Oh, baby.
Exalt the Talons is kind of decent. It's 7 cost. Draw 3 cards. You can exhaust 3 troops you control to make it cheaper. So, again, with Cyclone Shaper out, this card's completely free if you exhaust 3 troops with it. See Thunderfield Seer come off the top there for Bob, which prophesizes onto the deck here to make it the next action they find draw a card, which they then draw this Heart's Whisper here, which then costs 2. We're going to see this played out here.
We might be waiting.
Interesting that we waited on the Heart's Whisper. What could we possibly have for reason to wait on that?
It's pretty close. I guess. Yeah, I don't know really, honestly, because if you're going to Runebind, it's still going to be free regardless if they have a removal spell. So, not sure.
We see on Sirius' side, they have Gravengeist into Scrounged Boltwing Phoenix here, which in conjunction with this Eager Lackey can sweep Bob's board away here. I'm kind of surprised to see the Runebind not happen on that Boltwing Phoenix.
Yeah, that was a pretty sweet line there by Sirius. This is a lot of attack going on here, and a lot of little things going on, like you said, with sacrificing the Emperor's Lackey and the Boltwing Phoenix happening.
Interesting to see the Boltwing Phoenix not attack, because it has speed, or Runebinding the Lackey. So Sirius could sacrifice this Boltwing Phoenix, and we see this happen here. We're probably going to see it, deal 4 damage to each of Bob's troops.
Yes,
and again, I'm really surprised. Like, Bob just didn't use these 2 resources this turn.
Yeah, so now the Heart's Whisper is basically a fair card.
Till Fate Weave, probably a non-resource to the top here. Bob is at a pretty healthy 17, but like Sirius's troops are very large.
Yeah, remember
they hit very hard.
This Heart's Whisper's mobilized. Yeah.
So this Heart's Whisper gained the mobilize effect because it was found by the Cosmic Calling here.
Nice.
And we're probably going to see a guidance into Transmogrifade for the Raven Geist. Sure. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Turns into a Polyberry pouch over here.
Hey, look.
Guidance. Does it get a guidance? It's one of my squares.
Get out of here. Unlucky. Get out of here.
Very unlucky. Picked up another Cyclone Shaper, though. While bad for my bingo card, finding a Cyclone Shaper is excellent for Bob here after he lost that first one.
Gonna upgrade with the Polyberry pouch.
So Polyberry pouch is going to turn this into a random 3-cost troop, which Viridian's pretty good. 3/3, Crush, Diligence. Cards in your hand get -1 cost. So
yeah.
It's going to hit pretty hard and get a Bloodsworn here as well.
You just put 7 attack on the table here. This is pretty
putting
good.
Bob down to 14 and has like 9 power left over, maybe more, because even drawing resources means more power for Sirius at this point.
What was the Viridian previously?
So Viridian kind of going through lots of hoops there. Transmogrifade.
Multiple things.
Transmogrifade, downgrading, and then upgrading with the Polyberry pouch here.
Yeah, Viridian's was in a blender, basically.
So Cyclone Shaper comes down here. Unfortunately for Bob, can't quite play this Consulta Talons out here because it's still going to cost him 2 with only 2 things to mobilize. This Runebind likely means he's not dead this turn, though.
Yeah, it's good for Bob. He basically has a backup plan here, along with a chump blocking Candlekin, probably.
I don't know. I feel like if the attack's not lethal, you probably don't.
Yeah, with the consult, it's different. So if for some reason
Hero Fall drawn here from Sirius, but you see again his resource base kind of catching up with him. Hero Fall is a double blood card.
Yeah,
and we only have 1 single blood threshold up here.
Yep. Yeah, this is pretty solid.
Not surprised to see Bob declare no blockers here. His troops are valuable as essentially resources to him.
Yeah, I
cards
agree.
like Consult the Talon. So.
Oh, the Viridian was Diligent this turn. I was wondering. I was like, how did that just get played for?
Yep. So you can see both of these were free here.
Yeah.
This Hero Fall still not playable though because of the lack of a second blood threshold.
Oh, baby.
Is exactly what Bob wants here. We could potentially see this Turbo PA deck combo off here.
Yep. That's a pretty good one.
I wonder if he's going to Psychic Ascension first to make a 7-drop. I don't hate that.
I think almost have to at this point.
So this Consult is going to cost 0 resources because Bob gets to mobilize these 3 troops here.
Sandy has a Paragon.
It's a generate. So Sorcerer Sculpting not going to be too useful just yet, but eventually it's going to make another. And you can see even though this card costs 0 resources, it still costs 7 when it goes onto the chain here. So this is going to be a free 7 cost here.
What a lucky dog.
2 free Transmogrifades and a free Runebind, all of which are going to make 1 cost Sapphire troops when they get played.
What a lucky dog.
Cyrus is a web spawn away from going infinite.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, this game, Bob's at 5, but I think he feels okay about his.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're
spot.
Bob, you're in a pretty reasonable spot here. I feel like we saw a little bit of a fumble early when we didn't play that Heart's Whisper on turn 4, was it? But recovering nicely here.
Yep.
This Turbo PA deck is just very, very powerful.
All right,
well, we hit a resource, and it's the blood shard for the Hero Fall here.
Yep. Yeah, the blood threshold here is pretty good, but is it really going to do anything, I guess, is the question.
We'll see what attacks get made here. I'm going to expect to see a flurry of Transmogrifades before blockers are declared.
That's a big, big boy.
Transmogrifade on the Crush, guys. That makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
And Transmogrifading this one that had its cost reduced actually turns it into... Oh, it reverts first.
Yes, it reverts, yeah.
Hero Fall on our 7-drop. Okay. Be interested to see if we Runebind to protect this or not.
I don't know that it's really too worthwhile. It makes... I mean,
we're Runebinding the Hero Fall because we want to eat their thing.
It's going to make a extra troop anyways from the Paragon.
So we're going to get to Sorcerer Sculpting our 7-drop next turn, too.
It's going to feel great.
We have a Transmogrifade here as well for another one of their Crush troops.
Oh.
Just straight up removing it from play. Removal. Yep.
Fun.
Sacrifice it, because why not?
Yep. All right, now we got lots of blocks.
Sirius definitely getting the raw end, raw end of this attack here.
Get to eat 3 things. Brutal. Brutal for serious.
And the Sorcerer Sculpting is going to put an incredible amount of power into play next turn. You're going to get a random 4-cost troop. You're going to get another 5/8. See what our champion power brings us this time. Runic Downfall. Okay, we can't cast that one. I think we're better off. Just playing the Sorcerer Sculpting here, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to play the Runic Downfall. I don't think there's any reason. So the Sorcerer Sculpting is just, this is pretty solid here.
It just brings a beat down. The Harbinger of Hustur. What does that card do?
You get to, how many you get to? 6? Is it 6 things you get to exhaust?
So you don't know what this card does? Is that a bingo square for folks?
I can't read you the whole line. Do you see how much text that card has, man?
All right, that's a bingo square for those that are keeping track. Matt doesn't know what a card does. So
5.
This
only 5.
To exhaust five troops. And should this be in your deck instead of being randomly generated, it has a 20% chance to exhaust something. Oh, man. Should it be in your deck? I would have needed you to know the full text
That's
so not get that bingo square up.
Bad. He set me up, guys. Objectively, he set me up.
Holding up Runic Downfall here. Again, I feel like all paths kind of lead to victory for Bob at this point. He can probably let the computer choose at random which cards he's playing and win this game from here on out. Or see Runic Downfall pick up one of these Eager Lackeys probably and then block the other one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty... Yeah, this is fine too. I mean,
sure, again,
like you said,
like,
whatever you want to do.
Dealer's choice. The PA deck. If the Redlings deck doesn't get under the PA deck, the PA deck is just going to bury it in games like this.
That's a good one too.
Sure. Yeah, draw a card, win attack.
Totally reasonable.
Just perfectly fine. Do Sorcerer Sculpting that one? There's good. Oh
no way.
We made a mad Robo Man, sir.
Man, it's a combo with our Paragon, I thought.
The PA deck is my favorite deck in this current standard format. It's super powerful.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Goodness. It's so great.
We didn't get to exhaust anything. We're very unlucky.
It's unlucky. Yeah, I agree. We have the Shroud. We have the Sorcerer Sculpting. It's just like... What a shame.
Like a Mad Robomancer, another Cyclone Shaper, sure. Why not? Oh yeah, that makes an action too.
Yeah, that's great. This is really great. Bob looks like he's having a lot of fun.
I bet.
I can't see Bob currently, but I assume that he's just having loads and loads of fun. Oh, good. The Hero Fall.
Get to Hero Fall something. Yeah. Yep. And we're gonna head on back to the booth here while we queue up the next match. All right, so out of the reserves of these decks, I expect to see probably more Blight Knights out of the Redlings reserves.
Yeah, you would hope so. I guess that was kind of like the, quote, newly discovered tech for this matchup.
And I think that
we saw him, I believe, actually, in Sirius's previous match, if I remember correctly, they were in there.
Okay, I know he played them in previous bashes.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and we've mentioned both these players. We looked at Sirius's player slide a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at Bob's player slide before we head on back down to the next thing. So Bob and Cheese here. He's a member of Team Hex Heroes, as we mentioned earlier, the 22-year-old from the United States. He owns 2 rats, Clementine and Viola. He once went 2 years without wearing shoes.
Interesting.
Is that one of our strangest fun facts on these cards?
Yeah, almost certainly.
Just like...
That's like one of the strangest facts, period.
We let a hippie on our team?
Yeah.
Just,
what are we doing?
All right. Played trombone for 8 years. Played. Do you think that means he doesn't play anymore?
No, he's probably playing it while he's playing the PA deck.
I mean, that's the best. You can't do that.
You need theme music to go off like that.
Most importantly, we have top 8 finishes for Bob. Says three Hex Bash top 8s, but Bob doesn't just have 3 top 8s. Bob has 3 wins.
Yeah.
If Bob top 8s a tournament, he's winning it. He doesn't mess around.
Yeah, I had a coffee earlier, and on the cup it said Bob and Cheese on it because it was for closers, and Bob is certainly just closing them all down.
All right, let's go ahead and head it back on down into our game area here, and you can see we've got opening 7s for both players here. Pretty okay hand for Sirius here. Notably, a little bit awkward that we have this double Ruby Inquisitor of Lumos, which is a very powerful hate card in this matchup.
Yes.
But we don't have a Necrotic for this Cryptos just yet.
It's totally okay. It's totally okay. Speaking of someone who's played a lot of Ivan Slag Pot, totally okay.
Okay, and again, we see both players keep here. Bob's hand only having one resource in it here, but you'll note that it is one of the powerful ice shards, so it's going to guarantee a second resource, and if he's not too unlucky, this Arcane Focus is going to find him a third.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, Bob's hand's pretty good.
Hit the Necrotic.
Yeah,
right on,
I told you, just nothing to worry about. Actually, nothing to worry about.
Just the classic Ivan Slagpot Ardent Troop on 2, Ardent Troop on 3 curve here coming
Totally
up.
fine. Totally reasonable.
All right, we hit another ice here for Bob, which means we get to put another resource on top of our decks. We're gonna again go from that one resource keep to that making 3 resource drops in 3 turns. Just, I love the powerful consistency ice adds to these
absolutely.
decks. We see Sirius taking the aggressive line, and again, just like getting this Inquisitor of Lumos into play. So every time Bob plays a non-troop now, they're going to take 2 damage.
Yeah, Inquisitor is a pretty good punishing card against this Cassia deck. So Bob has to have an answer right away, or he's just, kind of stonewalled, essentially.
See that trigger go off, take 2 points of damage here. This lets him dig 3 deep to find an answer.
Finds one.
There's the Transmography
and it's
there.
prophesized, I believe.
Which is prophesized as well, so draw another card. So Inquisitor of Lumos.
That's a fun one.
Okay, so this card attacks for 3.
It does.
That's very reasonable. It's not an upgrade per se for you bingo lovers out there,
Sure.
but it is still a reasonable hex card.
It's a side grade, if you will.
It's a side grade, yeah. It's equivalency.
Sure.
Ooh, Cyclone Shaper picked up from Bob here, and Sirius doesn't have any removal or hate cards in his hand.
Yeah, that was a pretty good rip, though. So Sirius is set up for a really nice turn.
Turn 5.
Next turn,
Yep.
yeah. If all goes to plan here, yeah, this is great.
And you see the Dreadling get sacrificed immediately there, so we can get Rage on this Bloodsworn. So if you're Sirius, you got to be feeling pretty good here, right?
Yeah, it feels okay. You just kind of got to try and survive here for one more turn.
And then the PA player does their thing. Cyclone Shaper's out. Everything's basically free. Guidance, that's free.
Ew, drew Totem Trap.
Totem Trap. That's less good when you're trying to kill your opponent this turn or combo off. This one's probably going to get a resource, I bet. Yep, we see a resource here for Bob, which is going to let him activate his champion power. So a lot of people often ask, why Cassia in these decks? And this turn really shows why Cassia. So we're going to get to go ahead and be conservative here and pass the turn.
Yep.
I'm far greedier than Bob. I would have tried to combo there.
I think, is Bob just going to die here to this Dread Apprentice plus Wicked Web spawn?
It's pretty possible. Oh, this costs 1.
Yeah, it costs 1, but he's still in trouble here, though.
We're not in an amazing spot, that's for sure. That's for certain. So this
is still making a pair of Dreadlings.
This makes 2 Dreadlings on play because of the Wicked Web spawn. So we get to Confounding Ire here, the Dread Apprentice.
But this Lasgar's Bloodsworn is...
We have this free Totem Trap.
Yeah. You're still taking the damage from
you're taking 2 from here.
Yeah.
Bob's got a couple jump blocks here.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a free eat, right? We have a free eat and a single jump block?
Yeah, because of the Totem Trap, correct.
Yep. Cosmic Calling, I like it.
It's brutal. You see, this is what makes me so upset about the Turbo PA deck, is you just have them like, look at this board state. This is like completely dominating, probably not ever going to come back from it, and then this is going to happen.
This is going to happen.
Bob's probably on 90% to win this match.
Bob's 90. You think it's that high?
Yeah, I think it's 90% from here.
I mean, he gets to draw 5 cards next turn, right? He gets to... the second Shaper lets him cast this as well.
Yeah, it's going to be
wild. As well, and then he gets to play the...
Bob basically has to dodge another Scrounge card, essentially, for a turn or so. A couple turns is what it's looking like here.
Oh,
we're going to empower this bad baby.
This has Empower because we got it with that. It has Mobilize, so we got it with the Cosmic Calling, so we can empower this, so everything costs 3 less now.
Yeah, we're in trouble here.
Looking for a Light Devotives, and we found it here. So there's the very free Light Devotives.
Yes.
All right, which means we can then mobilize.
You can Guidance.
We're gonna Guidance first.
Going off.
Guidance for Guidance here. Give me a Guidance.
Oh yeah.
Give me a Guidance, Bobby. That's not my bingo card.
No.
Card got empowered.
There's does our card get empowered? I don't have that one. That's
what's this PA cost now? This has got to be pretty, like, probably in the 8.
Yep. It's actually cost 3, so it's free with these Cyclone Shapers.
Nice.
So now we get to cast this Consult to Talons by exhausting those 2, create a 7-drop, draw 3 cards here.
Yeah, we're just playing everything for the rest of the game.
Yep. Just Heart's Whisper, draw 2 more cards here. Make another.
You see?
Make another card.
I should have been more conservative. 90%. I should have went to like 99 probably.
99. Oh geez, we hit another Heart's Whisper.
And a light.
And we hit a Light Devotives to keep going wider here.
Is that one prophesized? No.
So what? We gotta. If you're Bob, you're like, I gotta fade Necropolis coins here. Is it?
Yeah, it's like actually just Necropolis coin.
It's actually just Necropolis coin.
And I believe that Sirius had played one earlier this game.
Yes, they definitely led on one, I believe. That's pretty unlucky. Bob ran out of things to play. Oh, wait, we got our champion power.
No.
JK.
Oh,
absolute power.
Absolute power, yeah.
Is absolute power good? What do you...
How much does that cost here?
5?
5 only?
Because it costs 3 less?
The triple? Yeah.
Draw any number of cards. What's the right number of cards, Matt?
Your whole deck, hello.
Your whole deck, of course. Or at least most of it.
You can never be too sure.
Is it a coin? Is it a coin?
Please.
Wrong blood-based resource.
Now what do you do? What's your line if you're serious? Concede, eat lunch?
Concede, eat lunch.
That's probably where I'm at.
It's the highest EV play.
I agree. Certainly agree.
Attack with Crusader to see if
I like that.
Oh, we can attack with Crusader and see if he eats it. Okay, that's fair. Bob should be good at Hex. Just chump block this Crusader, Bob. I believe in you.
Roughly 0%.
I believe in Bob that Bob's going to chump block this Crusader.
Yep. Man.
God bless.
Sees the line.
Sees it. Nothing's getting past Bob. There's a reason why he's won all 3 matches he's top 8 in.
Yeah, he's very skilled. Man.
Sirius is a trooper. We're still playing this game.
Yeah, I can respect it. Oh, yes, we get to find out how many cards.
What's the right number? 32 cards in Bob's deck. What's the right number? We draw them one at a time.
That was 8, 9.
Remember, you have to pick the number before you draw any of these cards.
I hope he leaves like 2 cards in his deck or something crazy. It's probably like...
Well, you get to light the voters back into your deck.
Oh, there's 12. There's only 12 cards left.
Only drew 20 cards. How conservative from Bob and Cheese here. Only drawing...
I'm going to have a talk with him after this. Yeah.
Bob, go deep. You can go deeper, Bob.
Yeah, this isn't even...
Transmography. Yep. Get it out of there. Yeah, bury some cards. Why not?
So rude.
Oh, if they bury cards, they get to draw it because there's a poet out here, right?
Yep.
Poet of Galaki.
Yep.
Card enters an opposing crypt from a deck. Put that card into your hand.
It's pretty good.
Sirius saw that.
Oh, man. All we need is one more constant.
This is relevant. It means Bob can't runebind anything.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully he misses that line and just, like, gets crushed out of nowhere. That'd be great, right?
Like the votives. Whenever people ask me why Hex isn't on mobile, I just reference them to games like this. I love being able to do things like this as opposed to having my board restricted for the sake of being on a 5-inch screen. Like I like doing big splashy things.
This is a phrase I've heard. Is this good clean living, as they say?
Good clean living. Yeah, I really appreciate Sirius here. Just like, just let Bob do his thing.
A Vesper.
It's the world is Bob's oyster at this point.
Is there a bingo square for 3 lines of troops anywhere?
If there's not, there probably should be, right?
We're gonna get there, I think. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get there. Oh, look.
Oh, we've created a troop that could destroy the constant. Good. Woo. Bob's got all the angles covered here. Yeah.
It's just good deck building, honestly.
I agree. Old venerable mystic over here sacrifices to destroy target constant.
Conveniently left 1 resource in the pool too, so it's just classic good deck building and good play.
Get that, nothing's getting past Bob and Cheese here.
He's made a ton of draft garbage with Psychic Ascension in his life, I'm sure.
What does Totem of Lightning do, Matthew?
I don't know that.
How about Mesa Caretaker over here?
I don't know these cards.
Bluebell Dryad?
Not drafting enough. Oh, Bluebell Dryad is a good one.
What's Bluebell Dryad do?
Yeah, it makes flying idiots.
Nope, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So for anyone out there
playing I don't even know what that is.
Make sure you filled that square. And which one?
What's the far right card? Can I see that?
Cry of Gwaine, I believe, is the card. Am I good? Cry of Adamant. It was a cry. I was wrong. I am just the Mapamonte of the world here.
Wrong. You see, Psychic Ascension puts the casters in this really awkward spot. And we've hit 3 lines of troops. Yep,
that is. And if you're serious, you're just sitting here like, better be a coin on top of my deck.
Yeah. I like it. You got to play that out. So, man, what are we getting to? That's so rude.
He's activated his trap card.
That is so rude. Bob's pretty unfortunate. He has 19 cards left, and he's gonna have to discard a ton of these.
Really unlucky.
Yeah.
Was that a Crimson Bolt out of Sirius's deck? can't even.
There's too many cards.
There's too many cards. I can't even get at it here. I'm pretty sure that's a Crimson Bolt up there.
I actually, it looks it looks like it. It would make sense because Cyclone Shapers have flight.
It's a 2 cost to kill Cyclone Shaper? Okay. I expect Bob to discard it here, so we'll probably get to see it in a second here.
No, he's got to keep it. For Gravengeist.
For Gravengeist.
He could die.
Bob missed playing a free Valor. I thought he was covering all the lines.
What a rookie mistake, honestly.
Had a free Consulted Talents,
too. Yeah, it is a Crimson Bolt. Coin! That'd be so funny if Bob went through all that and just got coined out.
Coined. All right. And like I said, you could just see how powerful this deck really is.
Yeah.
I think the Turbo Pia deck is easily in contention for the best deck in the current construction format, and I don't have a problem with that. It's a blast to play.
Very good stuff. Very good.
At any rate, we're gonna wrap this one up, and we'll be right back with another feature match very soon. Thanks for watching, folks.